fragrances for that old money aesthetic. So there are quite a few fragrances out there that are not so much old money in smell, but I found a few that I think fit the bill pretty well. They're very elegant, very sophisticated, a little bit more on the mature side, but still has a little bit of youthfulness, has some femininity thrown in there. And as always, all the fragrances that I mentioned will be available in the Amazon associate links down in the description below. I have to start with the original old money fragrances, both of them, Shalimar from Guerlain and Chanel No. 5. I have to get these out of the way because, again, for just about 100 years, these both came out in the 1920s. For about 100 years, these have been the original old money scents. Chanel No. 5 needs no explanation. It is a floral aldehyde scent, very elegant. I mean, this was just like the go-to fragrance for women, again, for about 100 years. The thing about it that I personally like is that, in contrast to a lot of modern floral options, it is grounded by pretty heavy base notes. Instead of just being very light and sweet and fresh, it actually has some really delicious notes of sandalwood, oak moss, amber, civet, musk, so it really creates a more textured, more layered, more interesting type of fragrance. And it's just nice. The main qualm is that it is pretty old. It's 100 years old, just about, or a little bit more actually. But if you're not afraid to try older fragrances, then this is a really good option. It's just a classic, very much associated with classic elegance and classic femininity. This, on the other hand, Shalimar, Chanel No. 5 was kind of more of the elegant woman type of thing for many years. Shalimar was more of the original clubbing woman, I suppose. Back in the 1920s, the flappers would go out to the clubs during the Prohibition and things like that, out to the parties. This is what they would wear. It was specifically designed for flappers, for the most part, because it was extremely scandalous at the time. Because before the 1920s, women either did not really wear fragrances, or they would wear extremely light, very floral, very natural, appropriate fragrances. This was not appropriate for the time. This was the bad girl fragrance. Extremely resinous, extremely smoky, amber, musk, a little bit of citrus to balance it out. Very, very heavy. It smells like incense, frankincense, that musk, like I said, that smokiness. Very exotic, very, very seductive, very mysterious. You could absolutely imagine, a smoky cabaret when you smell this. So this is definitely old-time, rich woman type of fragrance. Now, also, the bottle, which you can get an idea of here, used to be made of Baccarat crystal. I do not know if it's made of that anymore, but that used to, Baccarat crystal was extremely luxurious. So if a person had a bottle of this back in the day, that means they were really, really rich. Now, next one, which is very, very modern, I think it still fits the bill of old money. This is Fleur de Peau from Diptyque. This is very nice. It reminds me of springtime. Floral, green, fresh, kind of fresh laundry type of fragrance. And it's just very pleasant. It's one of those likable fragrances most people will enjoy, smelling this on you. And I would say longevity is not great, probably just moderate, pretty average, about 5 hours. But the smell alone is very, very pleasant. And it's if you want to make sure you just smell good, you don't want to think about it too much, you want to make sure you smell elegant and really put together, this is a good option. Because again, it's kind of designed in that way to be just likable, versatile. You could wear this anytime, anywhere. And not, no weird looks when you wear this. And it's just nice overall. Again, it's one of those things you don't have to really think about when you wear it. But moving on to something with a little bit more of a flair, I would say Vage d'Hermès from Hermès, obviously. This is a pretty light fragrance, which is its main downside, but the smell is really, really nice. It is extremely you could just tell it's a high-class fragrance as soon as you put it on. It is super fresh, super crisp, citrusy, green, very light, more of a subtle fragrance. You know, if you don't want to show off, you just want to be more subtle, more smooth, this is a really good option. I always think of the beach, you know, you're sitting at the beach, that nice ocean breeze is coming out towards you, very similar to that. But again, the main qualm here is the poor longevity, which is about 4 hours. Not great, maybe even 3 hours, but again, you can reapply it or just put on a lot at once, or layer it with something else. But in general, it's a very, very pleasant smelling type of fragrance, and elegant and sophisticated, all that good stuff. Now, the last one that I have is also a modern option from Vage, which is Iris. So I love Iris in fragrances. I think it's one of the best notes, especially floral notes. I think it's very smooth and creamy with a little bit of sweet, natural sweetness to it. It's just a very well balanced type of fragrance. This does it really, really well because there are plenty of Iris fragrances out there, but I think this one from Vage is a very sophisticated, rich smelling type of fragrance. It's really well put together. It's not crazy, it's not super strong, but it is collected, well put together, smooth. Pretty much it has all the benefits you could want from this type of fragrance. And it is very classically feminine with those floral notes blended in there. And again, nothing crazy, just a smooth and agreeable type of fragrance with primarily the main note here is the iris, as you could guess from the name, Iris. So that is pretty much my list of old money style fragrances. So if you found this video helpful, then of course you could leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I make a few videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.